Peace and grace to your heart, beloved child of God. You're not here by accident. This moment was written before time began. Heaven orchestrated it, and the angels led you here for a reason. There's a message your spirit needs right now, something heaven doesn't want you to miss. There's a moment in every soul connection when silence starts to speak louder than words, when the person who once felt like home begins to feel distant, and something deep inside you whispers that they're not okay, that something's breaking. Inside them, even if they won't say it out loud, you feel it because your souls are tied in a way the world can't explain. You sense their pain because the one who mirrors your soul is crying for help. And the question is, will you answer? Maybe. You've been praying for clarity, asking God if this connection still means something. Maybe you're tired of holding on when it feels one-sided. Or maybe you've been the one crying out silently, hoping they'll feel your ache the same way you feel theirs. This message is not for the distracted. It's for the one who still believes love can heal. It's for the one who refuses to give up on what's divine, just because it's difficult, because real love is not easy. It's refining it, reveals your wounds before it restores your heart. So today I want you to breathe for a moment, set down the confusion, and let hope rise again. Because there's a power that comes when you stop fighting against the lesson love is trying to teach. There's healing waiting in the place where you decide to listen again. Listen with your heart, not to the noise, not to the fear, but to that quiet voice that says love is still worth fighting for. If you've ever loved someone deeply, if you've ever felt their absence in your spirit before you even saw it in their eyes, then this message is for you. You're not crazy for feeling that pull. You're not weak for wanting to restore something that was once beautiful. And you're definitely not alone in this stay until the end, because by the time we're done today, you'll understand the power of unshakable hope. You'll see how to love without losing yourself, how to stay soft without being walked over, and how to rise stronger than before. But before we go deeper, I want you to do 3 things right now. First, if this message is already stirring something in you, drop a comment below and tell me what season of love you're in. Your words might be the reason someone else keeps believing today. Second, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button to Wisdom from Above. Join this family of real ones who are growing, healing, and learning to love better every day. This channel is not just about relationships. It's about becoming whole again. And third, if this message speaks to your soul, hit that super thanks and help us keep spreading truth, hope, and healing across the world. Your support keeps this light shining. Let's talk about what it really means when the one who mirrors your soul is crying for help, and how to answer with love, with faith, and with power. Number 1. Recognize the silent cry. Every soul that loves deeply will one day face a moment when words stop working, when the person you love most begins to shut down, not because they stopped caring, but because their heart has grown tired of trying to be understood. When this happens, most people react. They chase harder, they talk louder, they start defending their love instead of protecting their peace. But healing doesn't come from noise. It comes from discernment. It comes from being still enough to recognize what silence is actually saying. Sometimes your soulmate isn't pulling away from you. They're pulling away from their own pain. They don't know how to hold it anymore. And because you're connected to them spiritually, you feel it too, that heaviness in your chest, that sudden wave of sadness that has no reason, that's not random, that's your soul mirroring theirs. The first step to healing any divine connection is awareness. Stop trying to fix them. Start trying to understand them. Ask yourself, what are they not saying? What wound might they be protecting? Because love that truly sees is love that listens. And listening doesn't always mean hearing words. It means feeling energy. It means reading silence. Like scripture, it means recognizing that sometimes God will allow you to feel their burden so you can learn to intercede, not interfere. Don't take their distance as rejection. Take it as revelation. They're showing you where they still need grace. They're showing you where love still has work to do, and instead of matching their withdrawal with pride, match it with patience. Real love doesn't panic when things grow quiet. It prays. It anchors itself in hope. It says, even if you can't find your strength right now, I'll hold space until you do. Even if your words fail, my heart will still stay soft toward you. That kind of love heals. That kind of love reflects the love of God, unconditional. Steady, strong enough to stay present even in confusion. Recognizing the silent cry is not about reading minds. It's about being spiritually sensitive enough to notice when something shifts, to feel the disconnect before it breaks you apart, to sense when your person is fighting battles in silence and needs your peace more than your pressure. And I know it's not easy, because silence can make you feel unseen, unwanted, unloved. But what if, instead of taking it personally, you took it prayerfully? What if you allowed God to give you eyes to see beneath the surface? Every great connection faces spiritual warfare, because love that carries purpose will always be tested. You can't expect a kingdom bond to move without resistance, but when you recognize that resistance early, when you notice the silent cry, you gain the power to respond with grace instead of frustration. So today ask yourself, am I paying attention? Am I reacting to what's missing or responding to what's needed? Am I loving them from fear or from faith? One who mirrors your soul is not your enemy, they're your reflection. And when they hurt, it's a call to rise in compassion, not collapse in confusion. Be still, be sensitive. Be strong enough to hear what their silence is really saying, because sometimes the most powerful I love you isn't spoken. It's felt in the quiet space where hope refuses to die. Number 2, heal what their pain reveals. When you love someone deeply, their wounds have a way of exposing yours. The connection becomes a mirror, not just for romance, but for reflection. And sometimes what you see staring back at you hurts more than what they did to you. You start to notice the patterns. The way you shut down when they pull away. The way you question your worth when they stop affirming you. The way you overextend, hoping they'll finally see you again. That's not weakness. That's a signal love didn't come to break you. It came to show you where you still need healing. We often think the problem is them, their distance, their silence, their mistakes. But sometimes God uses the pain inside that relationship to reveal the pain you've been avoiding inside yourself. Maybe their rejection is revealing your fear of abandonment. Maybe their coldness is exposing the part of you that learned love must be earned. Maybe their inconsistency is showing you how much you depend on emotional validation just to feel safe. And that's where transformation begins. When you stop blaming the mirror and start cleansing the reflection. You can't save a connection by trying to control it, but you can strengthen it by becoming whole within it. Because when you heal your triggers, you stop reacting and start responding. You stop demanding and start discerning. You stop seeing everything they do as a threat and start seeing it as feedback. Every time your soulmate's pain stirs something in you, it's an invitation, not to fix them but to face yourself, to bring your heart back to the one who heals all brokenness, to remember that love can only flow freely when it's rooted in truth, not fear. When you choose to heal what their pain reveals, you shift the dynamic. You move from emotional chaos to spiritual clarity. You stop living in survival mode. You start loving from abundance. The relationship begins to breathe again because you're no longer adding pressure. You're adding peace. You become an anchor instead of a storm, a safe place instead of another battlefield. When you heal, you stop competing with their wounds. You start complementing their growth. You learn to say, I understand why you're hurting, but I won't let your pain turn me into someone I'm not. That's real strength. That's maturity. That's love rooted in hope. And here's the truth. You can't have unshakable hope if you're still bound by unhealed fear. Hope grows where healing happens. So let your partner's pain refine you. Let their weakness awaken your wisdom. Let their silence teach you how to listen to yourself. Because when you heal what their pain reveals, you break the cycle of reaction that keeps love stuck. You turn triggers into teachers. You stop repeating old patterns and start building new foundations. This is how God uses relationships to mature you, to shape your heart, to make you stronger without making you colder. Love was never meant to just make you happy. It was meant to make you whole, so the next time their pain surfaces, don't rush to fix it. Pause. Ask yourself, what is this moment showing me about my own heart? What wound in me is being touched right now, and how can I bring healing instead of more hurt? Because when you heal, they feel it. When you grow, the connection shifts, and that's how love starts becoming unshakable. Number 3, love them without losing yourself. There comes a moment in every deep connection when your love starts to cost you your peace. When the effort you're giving begins to feel heavier than the love you're receiving. And if you're not careful, you'll start calling exhaustion devotion. You'll confuse chasing with caring, and you'll lose yourself in the name of saving someone else. But love that costs you your identity is not love, it's bondage. And bondage always drains what real love is meant to sustain. You were never meant to lose yourself to prove your worth to anyone. God didn't design love to erase you. He designed it to expand you, to strengthen you, to teach you what wholeness looks like when it meets another. Whole soul, loving someone without losing yourself, means you stop worshipping potential and start honoring reality. It means you can see who they are and still stay grounded in who you are. It means you can be compassionate without becoming codependent. Because when you love from overflow, you give freely. When you love from emptiness, you beg silently. Many people mistake sacrifice for surrender. But true surrender doesn't mean shrinking. It means standing firm in truth while letting go of control. It means saying, I love you, but I won't abandon my peace to keep you. I care about you, but I won't ignore my own healing just to make you comfortable. That's what spiritual maturity looks like in love. It's choosing presence without losing perspective. It's staying faithful without becoming fragile. When you lose yourself in someone else's story, you forget the part God wrote for you. You start trying to become their savior when all they need is your steadiness, your example, your boundaries. Boundaries are not rejection, they're direction. They tell love where to flow and where not to overflow. They protect the connection from turning toxic. And listen, you can love someone deeply and still say no. You can believe in the connection and still walk away from manipulation. You can pray for them without losing sleep over their choices. That's not coldness, that's clarity, because love was never meant to drain you. It was meant to develop you. It was meant to build both hearts, not break one to fix the other. Loving without losing yourself is also about keeping your spiritual alignment. You can't pour light into someone if your own lamp is out. You can't give peace if your heart is running on anxiety. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is rest. Sometimes it's to stop explaining and start observing. Sometimes it's to let silence speak what words no longer can. When you stay aligned with who you are, you become magnetic instead of desperate. You attract healing instead of chaos. You communicate strength without needing control. And that's when love begins to grow again, because it's rooted in balance, not burnout. So today, I want you to remember, you don't have to disappear to be loved. You don't have to be perfect to be chosen. You just have to be whole enough to love without losing the person God made you to be. The one who mirrors your soul doesn't need a savior. They need your steadiness, your authenticity, your courage to stay grounded. Even when emotions get loud, when you love from that place, you give the relationship the oxygen it needs to breathe again. You show them what mature love looks like, and you remind them that the best version of you is the one that stays true. Because when you love without losing yourself, you teach them to do the same. Number 4, rebuild the bridge with forgiveness. Every soul connection will be tested by disappointment. There will come a time when the one you love lets you down, not because they stopped caring, but because they're still growing, still healing, still learning how to love through their own pain. And in that moment, your response will determine the future of the relationship, because every connection breaks somewhere between offense and forgiveness, and what you choose next will decide if you build a wall or rebuild a bridge. Forgiveness doesn't mean pretending nothing happened. It means deciding that what happened will not define your future. It means releasing the weight of resentment so your heart can breathe again. When you hold onto offense, you poison the love you're trying to protect. You replay the moment, you analyze the words, you stay trapped in yesterday while God is trying to write a new chapter today. But when you forgive, you open the door for healing to return. Forgiveness doesn't make them right. It makes you free. Many people think forgiveness is for the other person, but it's actually the key that unlocks your peace. Because bitterness builds barriers, it hardens your tone, it clouds your discernment. It blinds you to the beauty that still exists between you. Forgiveness is spiritual strength. It's maturity in action. It's saying, I acknowledge the hurt, but I refuse to let it own me. And let's be honest, forgiving doesn't always mean reconciling. Sometimes the bridge you rebuild is internal. Sometimes it's between your heart and God, so you can release the burden, even if the relationship never returns the same. But when the love is divine, when the connection still carries purpose, forgiveness becomes the foundation for restoration. It clears the emotional debris so real communication can flow again. It gives grace room to breathe. You can't rebuild trust overnight, but you can start by showing up with humility, by speaking truth without blame, by listening without preparing your defense. That's how you rebuild the bridge, not by demanding an apology, but by becoming an example of grace. When they see your calm in the middle of chaos, your peace becomes a testimony. It says, I love you. Enough to let go of what hurt me so we can grow past it. Because real love doesn't hold grudges. It holds space for redemption. You were never called to carry every wound forever. You were called to release them so healing can flow through you. Forgiveness is not weakness, it's wisdom. It's a strategy of strength. It teaches you how to stay soft without staying stuck. It lets you love again without living in fear of being hurt again. And here's the truth. When you choose forgiveness, you don't just set them free. You set the tone for what love looks like moving forward. You remind both of you that grace is the only soil where lasting love grows. So ask yourself today, what bridges have I burned with bitterness? What conversations am I avoiding? Because pride still sits between us. Where can I rebuild instead of resent? Because the one who mirrors your soul might still be waiting for your forgiveness to bring peace back to the connection. And when you release that burden, you'll feel it. A shift, a lightness, a quiet strength that says hope still lives here. That's what unshakable love looks like. That's what divine connection demands. Forgive, release, rebuild. Number 5, stand firm in the waiting. Every great love story walks through a season of silence, a stretch of uncertainty. A time when it feels like everything is falling apart, while God is actually building something stronger beneath the surface. The waiting season is where your faith is tested most, because you can't see what's next. You don't know if they'll come back. You don't know if they're healing. You don't know if the love you gave still means something to them. But listen, waiting is not wasting. When your heart stays faithful in the wait, God works while you rest. He mends what distance tried to destroy. He refines what impatience would have ruined. The waiting season is holy ground. It's where you learn the difference between attachment and alignment, between chasing validation and trusting timing. You can't rush what's divine. You can't force a soul to awaken before it's ready. You can only prepare your own heart to love better when the time is right. Standing Firm in the waiting doesn't mean pretending you're fine. It means choosing peace, even when you don't have answers. It means learning to breathe through the ache instead of breaking under it. So many people sabotage restoration because they panic in the pause. They text too much. They beg for clarity. They try to control what only God can heal, but faith is quiet. Faith doesn't chase. Faith holds space. When you truly believe that what's meant for you won't miss you, you stop fighting with fear and start partnering with purpose. You stop saying, "What if I lose them?" and start declaring, "If this is mine by divine design, nothing can destroy it." Standing firm in the waiting also means working on yourself. Don't waste the delay doubting. Use it developing. Use it to strengthen your spirit, to sharpen your discernment, to remind yourself that you are worthy of love, even when love feels far away. Sometimes God pauses the connection to protect you, because He knows if He gave you what you're praying for too soon, you might mishandle it out of insecurity. Waiting reveals whether your hope is in a person or in God's plan. Because if your peace depends on their presence, you'll always live in emotional captivity. But when your peace depends on purpose, you become unstoppable. Hope is not passive, it's powerful. It's an anchor that holds your heart steady while the storm rages. If you're in a waiting season right now, don't lose faith. Don't lose focus. Don't lose yourself. Pray for them, bless them, release them to God's timing, and focus on what's in your control, your growth, your healing, your alignment, because when the time is right, the one who mirrors your soul will feel the pull again. They'll sense your peace, they'll be drawn to your strength, they'll remember your love, not as pressure but as presence, and if they return, you'll be ready, whole, grounded, free, and if they don't, you'll still rise stronger. Because waiting built something inside you that loss never could. Unshakable hope is born in the in-between. It's in the space between heartbreak and healing, between distance and destiny. So stand firm, hold your ground, keep your hope alive, because love that's rooted in faith will always find its way home. Number 6. Guard your heart without closing it. Love will stretch you, it will break your comfort zones, it will expose the softest parts of your soul. But guarding your heart doesn't mean building walls. It means setting boundaries that honor your worth. It means protecting your peace without hardening your spirit, because pain will try to convince you that safety means isolation, that healing means closing off, that peace means distance from anything that feels uncertain, but real healing doesn't make you colder. It makes you clearer. It teaches you who to let in and who to release. It teaches you that love without discernment leads to exhaustion, and discernment without love leads to emptiness. Guarding your heart is not about fear, it's about wisdom. It's knowing that your love is sacred and not everyone deserves front row access to your soul. You can be open and still protected. You can be kind and still have boundaries. You can be soft and still stand strong. The enemy wants you to believe that vulnerability is weakness. But God designed love to flow through open hearts, not wounded ones, pretending not to care. So stay open, but stay rooted. Let God filter your connections. Let peace be your confirmation. Let consistency reveal intentions, because the one who's truly aligned with your spirit won't drain your energy. They'll match your peace. They'll water your growth. They'll speak life into your purpose. Guarding your heart means choosing love with wisdom, not fear. It means loving deeply but not blindly, giving freely but not foolishly. Don't let disappointment turn you bitter, let it make you better. Don't let rejection convince you you're unworthy. Let it redirect you toward alignment, because every closed door was divine protection, and every heartbreak was holy redirection. God doesn't take to hurt you, He removes to prepare you. So guard your heart, but don't lock it away. Keep it soft, keep it surrendered. Keep it ready for the kind of love that mirrors God's grace, because when you protect your peace without shutting out your purpose, you become unshakable, a vessel that love can safely live in, and a light that nothing can dim. Number 7. Don't confuse delays with denials. There will be moments when it feels like heaven is silent, when prayers echo back empty, when every door you knock on stays shut, and you start to wonder if God forgot your name. But silence doesn't mean absence. Delay doesn't mean denial. It means preparation is happening behind the curtain. It means timing is aligning with purpose. God is not punishing you by making you wait. He's positioning you. He's stretching your capacity to carry what you've been praying for. He's teaching you patience, not as punishment but as protection, because premature blessings can become heavy burdens, and answered prayers given too soon can crush what they were meant to complete. Sometimes the no is not rejection, it's redirection. It's heaven whispering, not this door, not yet. Trust me, when it feels like everything is standing still, God is still moving. When it looks like nothing is working, God is still weaving. When it seems like you've lost momentum, you're actually being molded. The delay is divine design. It's God taking his time to make sure what's meant for you can't fall apart once it arrives. So don't let frustration make you forget who's in control. Don't let doubt rewrite your destiny. Don't let impatience sabotage your miracle. Faith is not proven when everything flows easily. Faith is forged in the waiting. It's choosing to believe when there's no sign of progress. It's praising when the promise still feels far away. You might not see it yet, but something sacred is taking shape. The foundation is forming. The connections are aligning. The timing is being perfected. Every delay carries direction. Every pause carries purpose. Every detour carries destiny. God doesn't miss appointments, and he doesn't make mistakes. So if it hasn't happened yet, it's not because you're forgotten. It's because you're being prepared. Keep trusting, keep standing, keep sowing faith into the silence. Because one day soon, you'll look back and realize the delay was never a detour. It was the doorway to everything you prayed for. If you've made it this far, you already carry something rare, a faith that refuses to quit, a heart that still hopes even after heartbreak, a spirit that still believes in love after loss. Every word you've read, every truth that stirred your soul, was meant to remind you that your story isn't over. You're still becoming. You're still being shaped by grace. So keep standing in the waiting. Keep guarding your heart with wisdom. Keep trusting that every delay is divine direction. God hasn't forgotten you. He's just perfecting the promise, and when it all unfolds, you'll see that every tear watered your breakthrough. If this message spoke to you, drop a comment and share what part hit your heart the most. Your words might be the encouragement someone else needs tonight. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel Wisdom from Above, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another message of hope and healing. And if you'd like to sow back into the word, you can leave a super thanks. Every seed helps this ministry reach more hearts around the world. Stay rooted, stay faithful, stay ready, because the love you're waiting for and the life you've been praying for are already on their way. Amen.